About 2 years ago, back when I naively thought that Kingdom Hearts 4 would get seen or shown much sooner than it ever actually would, because we still have not seen it 2 years later, I made a video talking about some of the worlds that I would want in Kingdom Hearts 4, right? That video is dated. I might even delete it after I put this one out because I made something of an updated list here, right? I'm going to quickly recap all of the worlds that I want to see and then the newer ones that I've added here, including worlds that I would like to return to, even though there's only one extra one that I want to return to, right? So, originally, I wanted to go to Treasure Planet. We know for a fact that this is actually one of the cut worlds from, I believe, Dream Drop Distance. This was one of the worlds that was intended to be in that game, and it just didn't happen for whatever reason. It is what it is. It would have made a lot of sense for it to be a sleeping world, and I feel like it would have been extremely fitting, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just did not seem to make the cut, which is extremely unfortunate because I adore Treasure Planet. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. Sorry if you can hear me cracking my fingers, that's crazy. That was one of my favorite movies growing up, and it was one of my favorite Disney movies. I think it's still, like, I watched it, like, last year. I think it's, like, still a top 3, if anything. So, I love Treasure Planet, would love to see it as a possibility in Quadratum, but I kind of highly doubt it now, because if it didn't make it in the Dream Drop, we're probably not seeing it here, right? The next one that I mentioned was Coco. I'll be honest, it's been a very long time since I've watched Coco. I've not seen Coco in most of a decade, a majority of a decade at this point in time. It's just been so long. But in that video, I did say that, like, the general themes in that movie would still be extremely fitting for Kingdom Hearts 4, and I feel like there's just, it's pretty much a shoo-in, right? Because, like, the themes of, like, you know, death and missing loved ones and stuff like that, you know, I think that is a heavy theme that's going to be going through Kingdom Hearts 4 because of Sora's very specific situation in Quadratum, where Quadratum is something of an afterlife, essentially, for these characters, right? And we don't know if Sora is necessarily dead yet, or if he's just kind of in, like, a limbo state. We'll have to see, right? But we know one thing's for sure. Streetlitz has been there for a very long time, and she is damn near considered dead or very close to, right? So I think the themes of Coco would be extremely fitting, and I would love to see it come back. Another one I said at the time was Encanto. I don't know how I feel about that now, because, I mean, in theory, it would have been really fun, but, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really see much of there being anything to do with those characters. I don't know, I just don't see much going on with that. It would be cute for them to meet, but I don't really see them having much use in a fight against any Heartless or anything like that. Call me wrong on that one, that's totally fine, but I don't really see Kanto working out very well, so just consider that one removed. Another one that I said was Lightyear. This is another one. It's been a long time since I've seen Lightyear. I still believe that the general, like, core world in of itself, from what I do remember, could probably fit really well. And I think it would be just, like, a fun situation to have to run into, like, the real Buzz and the real Zurg and stuff like that, especially after coming hot off of Toy Story, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know how I feel about this one. I'd have to rewatch Lightyear because it's been a very, very long time now. I say that, but it only came out, like, a couple of years ago. I just don't remember anything. I'll be so honest. I just don't remember as much as I would have liked to, but I do think that, generally speaking, that world could work in one way or another. The next one that I mentioned was Onward. That is another one of my favorite movies in recent years when it comes to Disney, because that movie was incredibly well told. I love the story of the brothers and their situation, how it's so heavily, you know, like how much, like, D&D is involved in, you know, their love of the crafting the story and stuff like that. I really liked that story, and I feel like they could easily find a way to integrate, you know, the way magic is used throughout that story. I feel like they can easily find a way to integrate Heartless and stuff into that, and a way for them to fight, right? Again, it's been a very long minute since I've seen Onward, but I really did enjoy Onward, and I would absolutely be down to see how they utilize Heartless in that context, right? The next one, and this is probably the most important one, honestly, for a multitude of reasons, but Soul. Soul, I mean, I'm not me, no. That movie is representative of so many things. You know, the importance of music, the importance of, like, just so many different things. And the representation in it is golden. I really would love to see how they handle that. And in all honesty, I would love to see Sora in that little form so badly, fighting Heartless like that. I think that would make my entire life. I love that story. And I think... Oh, Black Guy, by the way. So, you know, I love Soul. That's a good-ass movie. I would really love to see that integrated into Kingdom Hearts 4 in one way or another. That would make me incredibly happy. Another one that I mentioned here was Turning Red. Back then, I said that I don't know exactly how I feel about this one because I felt like it would be pointless. I don't know why I said that, but in all honesty, I think it would be pretty fitting, actually, having, you know, what's her name as a panda? What was her name again? I can't remember, and I'm not even going to guess. I'm not even going to guess. It's been a long time. But I do feel like it would be a very fitting situation to have that entire... I mean, hell, they could be overworld characters. You know what I'm saying? Her especially. The primary Red Panda. She could be an overworld character, and she could easily fight against some Heartless. You know, one of her main strengths was like how strong she got. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be super down to have her as a partner in Quadratum, or, you know, one aspect of Quadratum. I don't know. I don't know. I would be super down to have it though. Another one I said was Princess and the Frog. Again, another situation of representation, and also just a fun little world to have. Also, I said that this one would be kind of weird to integrate because of the situation with Donald and Goofy not being there, because one of the things that, you know, was so important throughout all of, like, Kingdom Hearts was that whenever Sora, Donald, and Goofy would go to a world, Donald would be utilizing his magic to make it so that they fit in, that they blend in. You know, that was always a critical point, right? Maybe because of the situation in Quadratum, they could find a way to make it so that Sora fits in automatically without having to utilize Donald's magic, because we don't know if Donald's even going to be present throughout a majority of this play, or throughout the story, or if he's going to, like, even if he is, he might not be with Sora necessarily, right? Maybe Strelitzia could use her magic because, you know, Strelitzia is very proficient in magic, so maybe she could utilize that transformation magic or something to keep order. But there's really no need to keep any order because it is technically the quote-unquote afterlife, so maybe it doesn't matter all that much, but we'll have to see how that story plays out. But regardless, the Princess and the Frog, I think that would be very fun. It'd be so fun to navigate through that swamp as a critter, as a creature, as an animal. I think that'd be good. So I'd be down for that. If we can make it work, I'd be super happy with that. One of the primary new ones, the last primary new ones that I said back then, was Moana. And Moana is another one that I only saw one time when it initially released, and I never saw it again. But the concepts in of itself are really, really cool, and I think that world would be way too fitting. I and probably a lot of others thought that Moana would have been a shoo-in for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it wasn't. So I feel like it would just be way too fitting for Kingdom Hearts 4 in this context, right? I think it's just a good situation all around. I imagine it would probably be the first Moana that they would integrate. I don't know about the second one. I have not seen the second one at all. I have not heard anything good about it. But regardless, I think that first Moana movie could be integrated very, very well. And fighting alongside Maui and stuff like that. I feel like the movie in of itself, this is a perfect movie situation to just copy paste and just integrate Heartless and just see how it goes, right? So I'd be cool with that one. I wouldn't be mad about that in the slightest. For the returning worlds, the first one was Neverland. We haven't seen Neverland since Kingdom Hearts 1, and I feel like there's no reason for that not to be a Quadratum world, right? Maybe an older Wendy, maybe older kids, maybe an entirely different situation altogether, right? Also, that's a huge lie. We saw it in Birth by Sleep. I'm insane, but I'd be super down to see it one more time just because Neverland is just such a a good world, and there's so many implications of like just, you know, passing on and just growing up and stuff like that. And I think that's some stuff that Sora definitely needs to face at some point or another. It did an okay job in Kingdom Hearts 1 of, you know, portraying some of those messages, but I feel like now, you know, the stories are getting much bigger, much stronger, and I feel like the theming could be integrated a lot more, especially when Sora's on his own and really has to learn a lot about Quadratum and exactly what he did, right, to get there. And I think that Neverland could be a really good thematic world to utilize to hone in, you know, him being, you know, more immature and stuff like that, never not growing up and just, you know, being a little bit more selfish about, you know, his decision. Even though, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it was actually him trying to be selfless in saving Kairi, but in reality, you know, he had a lot of other people that were worried about him overutilizing the power of waking. So I feel like that could be a really good thematic world to utilize in Kingdom Hearts 4, even if we're coming back to it, right? Another one, and this one's technically a returning world, but I feel like we've kind of danced around the true actual utilization of this world, and that would be Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch has been utilized technically in Kingdom Hearts plenty, right? We've had Stitch as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 2, and we had an entire world or ship in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, right? We never actually visited Earth, and we've never actually actively had Stitch as a partner to fight alongside. Did we? I can't remember if we did in Birth by Sleep. I don't believe we did. If we did, it was for a minute amount of time, and I feel like we could definitely have a situation in which we're fighting alongside actual Stitch, maybe even Jumba or something, utilizing weapons or whatever for an original story that takes place on Earth, in, you know, Hawaii. Right? I think that'd be neat. I think that'd be cool. And I feel like we should have another Mushu situation in which Sora does recognize Stitch, but never officially met. Because they never, you know, they saw Stitch in Kingdom Hearts 2 when he was initially almost... Stitch was the one basically setting off the NPC, or the, what's the thing from Tron? The primary enemy from Tron. Jesus, it's been a minute. They met, but that they never actually introduced each other. They don't actually know each other. I feel like this would be a good time to do something like that and actually have a dedicated Lilo and Stitch world. That's a very important story. You know what I'm saying? This is another good thematic one about growing up and things like that. So maybe it would be a little repetitive if I had to choose between Neverland and Lilo and Stitch. Neverland's safer, but I think I would take the risk and say I'd rather go with Lilo and Stitch. I think I would, but we'd have to play that one by ear. The next one, or the last one that I said, was Frozen 2. Primarily because I want Arendelle to have a better situation. Because Arendelle in Kingdom Hearts 3 was ass. It was cheeks. I want a second chance, essentially, for Arendelle. And I want them to utilize maybe even an original story that takes place in between 1 and 2. Or we could utilize 2, and we could have an even cooler story. It's been a while since I've seen Frozen 2. I don't remember too crazy much about it. But the Ice Horse thing was neat. Either way. I think we do a lot with a revisit, you know? And if they weren't shy about revisiting Colosseum a million different times, if they weren't shy about revisiting... you know, Aladdin's World or Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff like that plenty of times before. Why not? Throw Arendelle in there too, because Frozen's really important. But that would also imply that the world died or something. We still don't know everything about Quadratum yet, so we'd have to see about that one. So maybe a couple of these wouldn't work too well. I think of the ones that could work here, definitely Coco, that's too perfect. Definitely Soul, that one makes the most sense. Probably next to Coco, and Neverland. We'll have to see about the others. And then for the new ones that I want to see, right? I kind of revisited all those other ones, kind of speed ran those because, again, that other video is so outdated now that it doesn't even matter. But also, this is a pretty short list, relatively, right? Of the new ones. I would like to see an Incredibles world. Duh! That would be so raw. An Incredibles world would be so incredibly sick, right? And I think, again, another theme importance here of family and stuff like that, I feel like it's just too perfect to not utilize. And again, everybody there has superpowers, so it'd be really, really interesting to fight in that city or wherever they end up going, utilizing, you know, that area. It's just too easy. It's too easy to use the Incredibles. And I think a completely original story would be really, really fun. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, working alongside like Dash and Violet, kids that are closer to Sora's age and stuff like that, or even the adults, you know what I'm saying? I would love, man, if we could get Samuel L. Jackson for Frozone one more time, bro. Or, I mean, I guess they are making a third Incredibles movie, so I guess that's probably not the end of Frozone. But if we could get that working in Kingdom Hearts 3, oh, mama. You got me messed up. That would be too excellent, dog. That would be too excellent for me, right? So, I think that an Incredibles world would be super, super awesome. I see no reason as to why not. The next one, this one's definitely a weird one, but I've seen this on a couple of people's lists, and after I've seen Zootopia 2, I definitely agree, because that's a good-ass movie too. But Zootopia. I didn't even realize I said it when saying that. But Zootopia would be a really good one. Turning Sora and Strelitzia, maybe even Riku into animals, whatever. And, you know, a lot of thematic importances of, like, you know, differences between people and animals and things like that, you know. I think this would be a good situation for Sora to be implemented to, specifically because Sora has never been one to shy away from people, even if they are a little different from him and stuff like that. You know, Sora, he's generally, for the most part, pretty emotionally intelligent with that kind of a thing. And I think it would just be a really good thing for him to be there, for him to be present. You know what I'm saying? Because Sora is not one to fear a lot of things, right? Sora's not one to be shy of, or be scared of a lot. So, like, the whole difference between carnivores and herbivores and stuff like that, I feel like that would be a really interesting situation to place him in. I think that'd be really, really good. So, Zootopia, that would be awesome. That'd be great. Another one that I didn't mention before that I wish I did was WALL-E. Man, like a robotic little Sora and Strelitzia, Riku, whatever, on this like deserted Earth or whatever, and, you know, fighting alongside Eva. Oh my god, man. A WALL-E world would be so incredibly tough. You don't understand, right? Even if it's not you know, on deserted Earth, on the ship, protecting all the people from the Heartless too, that would go insane. That would go bonkers, right? And I feel like it would be kind of a trip for all of the people there, you know, all the like super unhealthy people to see Sora and be like, how do you look like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be so unusual to see him walking around like that, you know what I'm saying? He would probably be like, you guys need to get up, get outside a little, you know? Sora wouldn't like shame anybody, probably not. Maybe. Nah, as long as they're not organization members, he won't shame you. But for the most part, I think that would be a really, really interesting dynamic to see. And really, really cute overall. Okay, I'll be honest. I put Brave on this list. It's been too long. It's been way too long since I've seen Brave. I don't know what they would do. I really don't. But then again, Tangled worked. So why not? You know what I'm saying? A little couple bows and arrows, you know, they're what are they, like Vikings or whatever? I don't know. I think they could make it work. That'd be really sick. Kind of like a throwaway one though. Like, if it did make it, I don't care. If it does make it, hey, neat. That'd be cute. You know what I'm saying? And then as far as new worlds go, the last one would be Inside Out. Given the journey that they went through in the first movie, I haven't seen the second one yet. I've heard good things about it though. But given the journey that they went through in the first one, you know what I'm saying? Like, learning about, you know, growing up and puberty and stuff like that, you know, emotional intelligence and how that develops in a person, how so many different situations can change what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I think that'd be really good for Sora to explore. If it would be in that specific character, I don't know. I think it could be in a different character. And I think that's a clever way to handle it, right? Just how, you know, Tron's world was integrated into Radiant Garden. I feel like we could have a situation with Inside Out where Sora is, you know, invading somebody's mind and utilizing Inside Out as a world, all of these emotions taking over and things like that. Maybe Azores, I don't know. I don't know. But I think they could find a really clever way to utilize Inside Out as a world, right? So, I think that could be fun. As far as returning to worlds, I have 2. And I'm shocked I didn't mention this one before. But Wreck-It Ralph needs a true world, right? We had him as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 3, and he was the weirder summon because he was like completely digital as opposed to like Ariel and Simba and stuff like that, right? I guess it was probably just part of the aesthetic. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but the others felt more tangible as to where he didn't. But then again, he was right. I don't know. It's a weird situation when it comes to Wreck-It Ralph, but I think a video game-based world is too perfect. It's too perfect not to be present there. You know what I'm saying? So it would be too easy to not have. And the thing about Wreck-It Ralph specifically is that it's already well integrated into Kingdom Hearts as its own situation, right? Because it was a major world that you were coming back to constantly in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. I don't remember the story there. It's been way too long. But for the most part, it was, one of the, worlds that we were the most excited to visit because it was finally, a true new world. Why they introduced it there? Beyond me. But Wreck-It Ralph could work extremely well as its own world in Quadratum, I believe. Right. And then my last one. Weirdly enough, I would love to see a returning version of Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is just such a I'm genuinely shocked we didn't come back in Kingdom Hearts 2. Or 3 even, you know what I'm saying, or any DDD, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations where I feel like it's too good not to reutilize one more time. Alice in Wonderland is such a legendary little thing, and it's to the point where even, I think the live action ones were pretty well regarded for the most part, to the point where they could utilize those versions in Quadratum, right? The live action version, if they really wanted to get the likeness of those actors and actresses and things. I think that would be really, really neat. Because Alice in Wonderland, that's more than a one-trick pony. There's more you could do with that, I'm sure. Right? I think it would work. I really do. I would love to see another visit to Alice in Wonderland. It would just be really, really fun. That being said, though, that just about does it for more worlds that I want to see in Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't expect most of these to come. I do expect a good handful, though. If I had to pick what's likely to show up, Coco's probably a shoo-in. I think Lightyear is probably a safe pick, right? Because that's a more important recent one in recent years. I think The Incredibles isn't a crazy bet, given the fact that we got Incredibles 2 pretty recently for the most part. Zootopia is not that crazy of a bet at all. I feel like that would be way too perfect. I think it's going to be between Onward and Soul for that last, likely part. I don't know which one, though. I'd probably lean towards Onward, but I don't know. For the most part, I'd be okay with most of these. Even the ones that I like less, like Frozen 2. I don't give a damn about the second Frozen movie, but a second visit to Arendelle would be sick. And I think integrating those characters and having them interact with Sora even more would be a lot better, as opposed to them, almost guest starring in their own world. It was super weird how that world was handled. So I want a better version of that, if anything. But other than that, that just about does it for all of the world. Pretty much, let's just call it what it is. All of the worlds that I would love to see in Kingdom Hearts 4. Right? So, that being said, I'm passing the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with most of these worlds? These are worlds that you would be super curious about, worlds that you would love to see, worlds that you would love to see reutilized once again on this list, or new worlds that you would love to see integrated into Kingdom Hearts 4, or are you on the opposing side? None of these worlds do it for you. You have your own list that you would love to have take priority. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be Skedaddle O'Clock. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly so. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
Doing donuts in a bin. I stay funky. Battle goes wherever I aim. I stay funky. I don't know who's ready to spit. Just know you're going down with my 58 clips. I stay funky. Honey's taking back to the crib. I stay funky. Get the club popped off like pain. I stay funky. I don't know.